Hey guys, today I wanted to come on and talk to you a little bit about my experience with early childhood and special education services for my son. A little bit of disclaimer, these are just my experiences. They are not going to be the same for every parent and child. I just want to say that, so don't listen to what I'm saying and say, oh, my child's doing the same thing and he needs it. No, but also take the fact that maybe this information that I provide you may be helpful too. So Tyler is almost 4 years old, and at the age of 2 years old, just past his second birthday, he started receiving therapy services, a program called the Birth to 3 program. And the reason why he started receiving those services was because we had noticed a regression with him at about 18 months. Tyler was completely developmentally on hitting every milestone that he was supposed to be hitting according to parenting guidelines. He was walking at 10 months old, he was talking early, he was doing everything he was kind of supposed to be doing up until that 18-month mark where we noticed he started regressing. He became a very picky eater. He socially wasn't interacting with other kids his age when we would go out. He was misbehaving and not that normal kind of early terrible twos behavior, as well as his speech. He stopped speaking new words and was limiting his speech. So at first we initially chalked it up to just environmental difference factors in our life. He was spending a lot of time in the car, going back and forth from our home to his sitter. Unfortunately, the sitter that we had at the time for him was putting him in front of the TV a lot, so he didn't have the other social interaction with kids. So there were a lot of different factors in it, and that's what we initially had chalked it up to. So at about right before his second birthday, about a month before his 23 months, we moved to a different state to be closer to my family. And we thought, okay, this would be a good opportunity to see if really it's the environment that's maybe making this regression happen. We figured, okay, he's starting new daycare where he's going to be around other kids, so he'll have this chance to socialize. He will not be stuck in front of a TV all day, as well as he'll be around family and friends, and he will not be stuck in a car because his daycare, still his current one, is literally a minute from our house. It's a minute drive in a car and a 3-minute walk. So we thought, okay, this would be great. We'll monitor him and we'll see if all of these factors, maybe he starts to kind of get out of this regression period and go back to, developing on par. So we moved, everything was going fine. You could definitely tell he was making changes, he was changing his behavior, but he was still running a little bit behind. So he was about just for the end of the summer of 2014. One of his teachers at his daycare had told us about the Birth to 3 program and had mentioned that it was really great services that were provided by the county, and it's a federally funded program, and said that maybe we should look into, possibly having Tyler evaluated for services that they could provide. Now, they provided all types of therapy services, from speech therapy to occupational therapy to physical therapy to anything that we could possibly imagine in that Birth to 3 range. So we had our pediatrician submit a referral, and we got into the program. They came out and evaluated him, and they deemed that, yes, he was a little bit developmentally behind for his age at that time, and that he would need speech language therapy, as well as occupational therapy, especially for his sensory issues. So an hour a week, the therapist came to our home, and they did their thing in our home. They worked with him. They taught me things that I could continue to work with him on after they were gone, and get him into a routine and into a place that he would adjust with. And the services worked. He definitely was changing his behavior. To a point, to give you an example, July, August 2014, we could barely go out in public sometimes without him throwing a fit. Like I said, this was more than just a 2-year-old temper tantrum. This was something that his sensory was overloaded. So fast forward forward, we're going through his year 2, we're going through services, everything's going great. He's about to turn 3. He's going to age out of that program. So what they do is they transition us into the 3 to 6-year-old program, which is through our school district. And so that's currently kind of where we're at right now. We developed, right before he turned 3, we developed an IEP, which is an individualized education. The past year, pretty much almost a year, school year at least, he has been receiving those services, speech language, OT, as well as just generalized services in our school district 3 mornings a week, 2.5 hours at the school. So he goes to school 3 mornings a week for a half-day session. That's kind of where we're at right now. I wanted to share that with you guys because a lot of people don't know that these services are available to you, and or they're not looking for those signs. They kind of do what we initially did, which was kind of put it off and assume that maybe there's something really wrong, and is something wrong. There was something developmentally wrong with where he was at. So right now, current status is he is doing 100% better than he was doing last year. I mean, he's using his words. He's asking us for things that he specifically wants. Every day he's learning new things that I am amazed by, and we're doing so many exercises at home too. I mean, we take the models that he learns at school and we apply them to our home to make sure that they're consistent and that he's not learning 2 different things. He is a very visual child. He learns really well by watching things on our iPads. Cognitive-wise, he's probably ahead of most kids that are almost 4. He definitely has some struggles ahead of him, but we are working on them. I just wanted to share my story with you guys that, on the surface, everything looked great. He was fine, but that regression that he went through was something that some children do go through. And it's not yours as a parent's fault. It's not the child's fault. It's something that kids just go through. And there are services out there that can help you get through those phases and get through those life milestones. And take advantage of them. If you address the issues that you may feel that your child is having with his developmental skills or milestone skills early on, it's something that can be easily, it's a little easier to handle later in life. You'll have a plan. So that's it. Let me know in the comments below if you ever had experiences with maybe your state's birth to 3 program or transition program, and what you felt about their services. And let me know if maybe you've ever been concerned about your child's regression. I'd love to hear your story, and we can kind of share stories. And if anyone has any questions for me, let me know. I'm not really a wealth of information, but I will leave links in the description for kind of more information about the Birth to 3 program, as well as other services that are provided. So I will talk to you guys later.